I'd like to call this meeting to order of the Pinson City Council, October 18th, 2022. If you would stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Father, we again thank you so much for our opportunity to be able to be here tonight. We thank you for all of us being able to be in attendance. Father, we just ask that you would continue to give us wisdom and guidance as we make decisions. We thank you, Father, for the things that we've already discussed during the pre-meeting and the ideas that have been put forward. Father, we thank you for our team, the folks that work here for us, protecting them, be with each one of them as they're out doing their jobs every day, some of which can be dangerous at times, so we just want to lift them up. Father, again, we always want to lift up our first responders. We know that they are out in some situations that most people wouldn't want to be in, but we are thankful, Father, for them and them being able to go out and do this. And we just ask that you would protect them. Again, be with us tonight, and we ask this in your name. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, everyone may be seated. If we could, Madam Clerk, have a roll call.
Counselor Irvin. Here. Counselor Walker.
Here.
Counselor Roberts.
Here.
Counselor Churchwell.
Here.
Counselor Kirkland. Here. Mayor Cochran.
Here. Full house for the first time in a while. Appreciate everybody being here. It is Pink Out Day in Pinson in observance of breast cancer awareness, so I hope everybody continues to contribute to that cause and help all the people that we've all known that have breast cancer or have had it. All right, Councilor Kirkland.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve and the waiving of the minutes of October 6th.
All right, I have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Let the record reflect that passes unanimously. Next, we're going to welcome to the microphone Scott Ragsdale. Local boy is what we say. Scott runs a company locally called Paint Life, where he paints cabinets and all kinds of stuff. But he has a proposal tonight that's very near and dear to his heart, and it is for a Veterans Recognition Park. Scott?
Mayor and council members, thank you for allowing me to be here this evening. I'm born and raised here in Pinson. Like the mayor stated, I have a local business here in Pinson. I have a residence here in Pinson. And basically, besides about 16 years being in the Navy, I've been here all my life. We're one of the very few cities that doesn't have a park or an area designated for our veterans. We just don't, never have, that I've seen. I spoke with the mayor about it, ran across some ideas across him. He bounced some back to me, and he said, put it in paper. So here we are tonight. What I'm proposing is for the area that is right before you get into the Bicentennial Park, where the old white fruit stand used to be, right across the street from the Shell gas station. For that area to be designated, still owned by the city of Pinson, to be designated for a Veterans Honors Park or a Veterans Recognition Park. The reason why I didn't put Memorial Park in there is because I don't feel if a service member has passed that he or she should be recognized. I think they should have it done, like myself, while we're still here. So, but what it's going to entail is that designated area, all of the material will be provided by me or the donations that I've already gotten. I've already gotten donations for the concrete, for the pavement, for the concrete pillars, for the rock, for the flag poles, for the flags, and for the lights. So basically, all the material and the labor will be provided by myself or people who have committed to that for the veterans of Pinson. So basically what's going to happen is my thought process was, let's just say myself, the park is committed or created. What I'd like to do is have some form of registration where, let's say, my wife Amy submits my mini so-called application to the city of Pinson where it shows my separation paperwork and it's where I was a resident of Pinson. And then what we're gonna do, I have a company that's going to engrave bricks. My name, my rank, my United States Navy, the 16 years I was in, and we're gonna place that brick on the ground, inside the ground in that area. And again, it's just to recognize the veterans. And you can see right there on the screen, it just recognizes the veterans who have lived in Pinson or still live in Pinson. So what I'm asking for tonight is two things. One, to have that property allocated, allotted, still in the city of Pinson's ownership, but to allow me to go on to the next step in getting my architect to go ahead and draw it to scale and to represent it back out. And like the mayor mentioned before, there will be tweaks to it. It's nothing that I put set in stone. It's your park. I just want something for our veterans to be recognized.
And what I've seen of Scott's design is, in general, kind of what I had in mind. I think what I would like to see, so when you talk to your architect to design the final, what I would like to see is like a little wall that comes around this way, and you have an area in front of it where people can walk and read a placard for each branch of the service and that kind of thing. Bear in mind, I would say those pillars need to be pretty tall so they can be, you don't want it to dwarf from the road, you know what I mean? So I think when we get with the design concept, then a sidewalk out there, and I like the idea of the bricks and all of that. Additionally, if you could back up to the drawing, Eric. Yeah. Zoom in on that a little bit on the corner of Pinson Boulevard and Oak Street West, which will soon be renamed as well. So I was talking about us putting a sign on that corner so people know this is Bicentennial Park. And it would just complement the property. It wouldn't take away from the memorial, or however you want to describe it. Most of us are used to memorials, but I like the way you're thinking. Make it available to everyone that has served. I had a brother and a father that served in our military. I did not. I left them a message, say, hey, if you need me, call. They never called. But we appreciate you guys that did go. Some of those are sitting with us today. Guys, what do you think about the proposal and the idea, generally speaking?
I think it's great. We've discussed this, I think, was it last year or when
We
we come
did.
up with ideas? Because that's what we had when I was the mayor in Florida. We did this, and I still hear people come and tell me the names they read on the bricks, and people are still buying the bricks, So I think it's a great idea. It's about time we do it.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's do it.
It is indeed.
That's, do you have ideas about recognition of individuals, like putting names on bricks and so forth
But
like that?
that's what I had spoken to about before. Once the concept is created, they would bring that documentation, present it either in person or via a website that's part of the city of Pinson, where like they bring my name, my discharge paperwork, showing proof that I was a veteran, and also showing that I'm a resident of Pinson. And so what happens is that once the city gets that information and the cost for that brick, then the company that I've contacted and agreed to, the city of Pinson or whoever is designated, would send that information to this brick engraving company. And then they would engrave that brick and send it back to wherever it was designated to be sent to be laid in the ground there. So, yes, sir. So to answer your question, a brick would be engraved. I had one on that slide right there. So that's essentially what it would look like. And then, again, this company mails it back here. And then whoever the city decides to put that in the ground at that park is when it would happen. So,
All right.
does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you saying it's going to be just for veterans that live here or have lived here?
Or
That-
have.
That was my idea, yes, ma'am. Either were a resident or currently a resident of the city of Pinson.
Anyone that's ever lived here that's a veteran, they would be eligible for this.
I mean,
The way we did it, we had it, before, we had, like I have, 5 grandsons, military, and they didn't have to live there, but it just recognizing, and you put the date of they go in, but the other part is not, there's no date on it, they haven't retired. But we had it for any veteran, but it's up to what council, whatever they want to do.
So do you know approximately how many bricks could fit in that designated area?
No, sir, I do not, without doing an actual walkthrough and
Quite
doing
a
an actual schematic drawing of that area, so.
Yeah, it could be a lot of bricks.
And that's why I wanted, I didn't want to segregate anybody, but I wanted to have them just solely for the residents of Pinson, because somebody could be here 20 years and their house burned down, hopefully not, and then they find a great buy in Trussville and move to Trussville, but they were residents of 20 years in Pinson. So, that's to get the actual allocation of brick layout number. I don't have that with actually doing a walkthrough, and I didn't want to do that until, I promoted it.
It's a pretty big piece of property.
It
You could
is.
lay out the brick concepts pretty easily to accommodate, I would imagine, several thousand bricks if you wanted to.
And the only funding that would be required from the city of Pinson would be the lighting, because in the diagram, it has the lighting where it's showing up. The lights are showing up on the flags, all 6 of them, and just the maintenance. So any donations that aren't received, they're coming from me. So, if the pavement doesn't work, I'm paying for the pavement. If the poles don't work, I'm buying the poles. So no cost comes from the city of Pinson except for the power, for the lighting, and the upkeep of the grounds itself, so.
So is the brick placement areas, would that be concreted and then have inset areas for the bricks, or how?
I have to get with that concrete company, because I think if we have all those, he and I talked about that, because it was a concern to him, if there's so many open holes there where bricks lay in, that may be a safety hazard. So I don't know if we have to keep it soft ground and just keep a place, an area allocated for 100 bricks, and then move to another one, and then move to another one.
Typically, what they do is they go ahead and brick the whole thing with whatever you have, and then blank bricks everywhere else. As you gain new bricks, you take
Just
out a
flip it
blank
out.
and put in a new. That's kind of what I've seen as a typical way of doing it.
So, but your funding there for the brick, that actually includes the price of the brick itself?
It does, yes, sir.
So, if it's okay, could we buy the blanks then in order to?
I
fill
would
out
say
the
we
rest of the
could.
thing?
We-
So-
Yes, absolutely.
And if
could.
we needed to do this concrete area, scenario.
Once you finalize the design and get it all in stone, so to speak,
No pun intended.
you know I was going there. Can't help myself. But yeah, I think looking forward to the next step, a more finalized, a more refined design. I'm not going to say finalized till finalized
Well, I think
happens.
my next step, Mayor, would be having myself and you, or maybe Eric out there, and to do a walkthrough just to find out what the actual rim of the property and the designated of property would be.
Right.
And then once that is, drawn out and measured out, then my next step would be giving that to the architect who could draw it to scale.
Right,
So,
and we're talking about putting parking on the other side of the road
Okay.
for that memorial. That way people could come and they could park. It would serve the park and or this monument. That's a better
And-
word, monument.
And the objective would be to have the opening of it on Veterans Day of next year.
And I have had some people request that we do include Space Force. I know it's new,
Do what?
and there are no veterans yet.
I think they only have like 20 members, right?
I don't know. Space Force.
Well, I
It's
was
a- it's
one of
a
the
real
ones that
thing.
wondered about that too, especially in light of the fact that hopefully the headquarters are actually gonna be here in Alabama, so we may have more
We
veterans
may
than
have the first
realize.
one with a Space Force. I don't
That
know.
would
I
be
hadn't seen the
interesting.
flag, so I don't know. Bradley?
That would be interesting. I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
Being a veteran myself, and having visited the Vietnam Veterans Wall in Washington D.C., I have nobody that served in Vietnam. I take that back, my wife's uncle. But directly, I have nobody that served there, but it is a moving experience when you see a monument like this, and I think it would be just the same here for the residents of Pinson, to see the Pinsonites, if you will, that have served and fought for our country, so.
Glenn Teacher?
Sounds like a great idea. I'm a
Thank you.
dependent of a veteran.
Thank you.
You're, you are a former dependent of a veteran.
I've got another question for you.
Yes, John.
That is very close to Main State Highway. Do you have any idea if we will have to contact the state or the county to get approval to put that in there?
I don't know about the easement. I think that's the name of it, the easement with that state highway. Hadn't gotten that far yet because I didn't want to contact them to draw any attention to it until I got,
We would assist with that particular part. As far as easement and, placing it back far enough and all that kind of thing, that would be something we would be involved with.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, make sure of that. All right, any other
And
questions?
once it gets in, I know there's a group, I've met them, of couples that, a lot of them on motorcycles. They go, like, people go to parks, state parks. They go to the memorials and the veterans, appreciation for, you know, the thing of each city. They look them up and they go visit, you know, they go see them. And, I've talked to them before. It's maybe one of their hobbies or something they do, you know? And I look for them everywhere I go, just to see what other cities have. So,
well, I just, again, back to my opening statement, we're one of the very few surrounding cities of Birmingham that doesn't have one. I know we have a lot of veterans, and I would just like to give them, some form of recognition, past, present, and future.
Agree. Agree, I agree 100%. As a matter of fact, when Scott originally called me, he said, "Have you guys thought about this?" I said, "We have." But we welcome the public's input especially, because we're just a group of 6. We may not be that smart. You know, bringing everybody into the project, I think is a great idea, and I appreciate it. Anything else, guys? Thank you, Scott.
Okay? Thank you for your time.
All right, moving on, Counselor Irvin.
I would like to request a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $50,343.32.
I have a motion. Do we have a second?
You did.
Second.
Got beat over here by Roberts.
Sorry.
Good job. Jump on it. This is a smaller bill schedule than we've had in a while, which is welcome. Any highlights you'd like to mention?
We paid our IT bill for $5,000. Still, we had some things from Butterbean, but that's about it.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
All opposed? Let the record reflect, we will pay the bills. Moving on, Counselor Churchwell.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a couple of annexations tonight. This is a piece of property owned by Yolanda K. Smith. It's lot 11, M.J. Beasley Jr. addition to Pinson, located 4013 Lee Lane, Pinson, Alabama, 35126. I make a motion this be annexed into the city.
Have an offer. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Roll call vote for unanimous consent, please.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Cochran?
Yes, consent passes. Any questions or comments on the main ordinance?
Mr. Mayor, let me just
Yes, John.
add to that. Some people may not know where that is, but really this is some property off of St. John Road. So that just give them a little bit better idea of where it is located.
All right, thank you, John. All right, roll call for the main ordinance.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Cochran?
Yes, and that passes as ordinance number 2022-24. And welcome to Pinson. John, you're up again. One more.
One more. This is a piece of property actually owned by the city of Pinson. This is property on 6826 Brook Crest Way in Pinson, Alabama. And, let me find, this is up off of Hackberry, well, Hackberry Circle is there. Also, Ashbury Drive is the closest one, I guess, to that. And actually up in the Innsbrook area. I make a motion this be annexed into the city.
Have a motion. Do we have a second?
You do.
Motion and a second.
I would say the description would be up on the bluff.
Yeah, it's on the bluff. It's kind of an unusable lot, and that's okay. And one day, we may not own the lot. And one day, someone might want to take possession from us of the lot. It's fine. Unanimous consent for consideration, please.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Cochran?
Yes. Any additional comments on that? All right. Roll call on the main ordinance, please.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Cochran?
Yes. That passes as ordinance number 2022-25, and it seems redundant, but welcome
To Pinson.
to yourself. Welcome to Pinson. Do what you gotta do. All right, moving on, we'll talk about enhancements. Veterans Day Luncheon. Go.
Yes, I would like to invite all the veterans and to come to their luncheon, which will be on November the 11th. I think it starts at 11 o'clock, all right?
Sounds right.
So.
Whatever y'all say.
It'll be catered, and you'll have a wonderful time. You'll enjoy.
I think the catering this year, we talked about Olive Garden, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna do Olive
And it
Garden.
starts at 11:30.
It starts at 11:30.
It starts at 11:30.
That's right. And there's room for everybody that wants to come. If you're a veteran, come on. We appreciate it. We should have a performing act there doing moderate, non-bombastic music. There's no truth to the rumor that we're inviting Kiss to play. I found that Gene Simmons simply does not know how to act. He gets out of control. All right. But please call City Hall at 680-5556 to get registered for that. And if you need a to-go meal, let us know that. We'll make sure that's taken care of. We have ordered the gifts for everyone, and hopefully they'll be in time. But with today's supply chain, who knows? You never know. But we've got them ordered in plenty of time, we think. All right. Christmas parade. Who wants to talk about that? I guess Quintisha.
You can. Christmas parade, of course, we'll reiterate, is December the 1st. All applications are due on November 25th, which is a Friday, and the applications are now up on the website if you would like to register for the parade. And again, the theme is ugly Christmas sweater.
Bless you.
Sometimes we sneeze. Anybody else got anything about the Christmas parade and its theme or whatever?
We can't talk about that theme, get in trouble.
No, we can talk about the theme. But be on the lookout for an Alfred E. Newman sweater,
Please.
not a sweatshirt, a sweater. Actually knitted into the sweater, Alfred E. Newman. Ugly sweater is the theme. And it has to be at least a large or extra large in order for me to wear it. If you can pull that off, I will wear the ugly sweater. If not, I wear no sweater at all. That is the theme of the day.
Now, that's not what June said.
We're not gonna talk about what June said. She's not the boss.
That
Oh.
was at, what,
Not as far as you know.
6 o'clock? Is that,
Yes, it starts
6:30
at 6.
parade.
No, right?
Is it 6 or 6:30?
It's
6:30.
6:30, that's what I thought. 6:30 is the parade time, but everybody wanting to enter needs to let us know, and we'll let you know where the staging area is and all that, and Every year it just gets better and better. Everybody light up your floats. We'll have our commentators in place like we did last year. I thought that was fantastic. I've asked both of them if they would do it again. They said they'd love to, so. Anything else, guys?
Please be mindful of the participation rules and regulations. They need to be adhered to. Thank you.
That's right. That's right. All right, Glenn, talk about trade days coming up.
Yes, the trade days, in fact, this is the year anniversary when they started trade days on Main Street. It's on Saturday, November the 5th, from 9 to 2. It should be chilly and a lot of good food and hot chocolate and some music and a lot of old cars. So I encourage everyone to come, enjoy it, and support the vendors, and you'll have a good time.
And never pass up an opportunity to go to Price's and have some ice cream or a hot dog or
Oh,
something.
yes.
Chili
If
and
you're
all
lucky
that.
that day, chili will be the soup of the day.
Oh,
They
yes.
should prepare lots of chili that day, I would imagine. All right, and last on that list is we have the next Shred-a-thon will be November 5th from 9 to noon right here in the parking lot of City Hall. So we're gonna put that on the sign, we're gonna put it on our social media, put it on our website and on the calendar, and make sure that we inform as many people as possible. That is the day of Shred-a-thon, November 5th, the next one. And if you miss that one, 3 months later, you'll get another shot.
So on your way to trade days, bring your shreddable materials,
Yeah.
drop them off at City Hall, and continue on to trade days and have a great day.
That
That's
is
right.
correct.
Yes, you're already out, so,
That's right. All right, moving on. Under new business, Counselor Walker.
Yes, I would like to offer a motion to accept a quote for the dock doors on the back of the Rock School Center
All right.
in the amount of $4,762.09.
All right, I have an offer. Do I have a second?
second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We shall order the doors, and again, it's continuing to try and upgrade our facilities for the public's use and the betterment of all the facilities, so.
So we didn't discuss it, but the current doors have well exceeded their normal life expectancy, so.
Yeah, I don't know when those doors were put in, but it's been a minute.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they did not qualify under the historical banner of the rest of the doors that we were able to reuse, so
They did.
they're sorely needed. So
They are sorely
I'm
needed.
glad the council just voted to do it.
I appreciate that. Moving on, we got a quote for a road from, well, it's more of a trail from Main Street to Glenbrook, and it'll connect Main Street to our parks. It'll be usable for the upcoming Christmas parade as well as for walkers at any given time. So, Counselor Kirkland, that's on
Yes,
you.
I would like to make a motion to accept a quote for the road from Main Street to Glenbrook.
Point of order.
Yes,
So
sir.
do we want to go with the base included? Okay.
Yeah, that's got the base included, the clearing and all of that.
And I think this is,
What was that quote? That was-
is that
That's Campbell's quote.
for $8,000?
No, it's 10,800 with the
Oh,
base.
10,800 with the base, yeah, we
All
want the
right,
base.
yeah, 10,800 with labor and the base.
To quote the song, it's all about the base. No trouble. All right, I have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. No point in calling for the nays because there were none. All right, moving on for a quote from Lockport, Counselor Roberts.
Yes, I'd like to see us do some enhancements to the doors at the back of this facility with some openers. I'd like for us to work with the folks at Lock Corp for an amount of $5,175.
All right, I have an offer. Do we have a second?
Second.
Offer and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Let the record reflect, we shall buy and hire the guys to do that. Just put some automation here at City Hall. We may expand that after we see how well that works. Put it on this council chamber door as well. So we'll see. That'll be up to you guys. Appreciate it. All right, now I've got a quote from Counselor Walker.
Yes, I would like to make a motion that we purchase the office furniture for the Public Works Director's office in the amount of $5,059.81.
All right, I have an offer. Do we have a second?
Second?
Offer and a second. Again, we're expanding our footprint inside the building as to what we occupy. This will be a new office area for Public Works, sorely needed. We're going to transfer some other people in some other offices around and get everybody in appropriate places, but furniture is needed. Any other questions or comments, guys? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes carry. Order the furniture. Let's see how that happens. Up next, Counselor Roberts.
Yes, in the pre-council, we got a chance to relook at the drawings that our architect has put together for the roof, a new roof over at the Rock School Complex, specifically on the auditorium section. The current roof would remain in place, but we basically put a new roof over that. The current roof is not working correctly, and again, it's also semi-historic itself, so we'll cover it up. He has prepared the documents, so I would like to make a motion that the council would direct the mayor to direct the architect to go ahead and initiate the competitive bidding for the Rock School roof project.
All right, I have an offer. Do we have a second?
Second.
Kirkland was going for it. She got beat up. I saw you. You were trying. Good job.
You don't miss anything.
Anyway, at the end of the day, there's a lot of work to be done on the inside of the building, but none of it needs to be done until we get the outside secured, and this is part of that. It'll be costly, but if you're gonna own property and have it out there for the community to use, it needs to be in good repair and also aesthetically pleasing. This roof will match up well with the rest of the building. Any other comments?
But it actually kind of removed that Quonset hut kind of look, that's going on back there, and we'll
Yeah.
actually bring it more in line with the gabled roof.
Every
that
time I
we have.
drive up, I think I'm looking for Sergeant Carter.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I felt that way even when I was in school there.
There you go. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We will instruct our architect to put it out for bids and make sure any other bidders that need to be informed will be informed. All right, that concludes our agenda. Anything else you guys would like to add tonight before we go to public comment?
We do need to set a date for the December meeting since the Christmas parade is on the
Yeah.
date of the council meeting.
True that. I was thinking the Monday or Tuesday following that, if that's okay with you guys. Yes, John.
Monday night would be good for me, and also, the chamber dinner is the first Tuesday night. So
Okay, so Monday will work a lot
Monday
better.
would be
Right.
better, yep.
Okay. So y'all want to move it, what's that date, Robbie?
The fifth.
The 5th.
So you would propose that we move the first meeting of December to the 5th from the 1st?
That is correct, sir. I do make that motion.
Do we have a second?
You do.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we will put that on the calendar to make sure people are informed that we have moved that meeting date. All right, got anything else, guys? We're moving at breakneck speed over here. Feel free to
We
take
are.
up some time if you want to. All right. Yes, Eric?
Do we want to move a meeting to Palmdale? Sorry,
That meeting?
I'm just throwing it out there.
We could do that meeting in Palmerdale, but it would be a daytime meeting. It would change to the 5th and be during the day. Typically, we have that meeting at noon, around noon. Is that something you guys would like to do since we haven't had one there this year?
Sure.
But
I think
it would
that'd be
still be
good.
on the 6th, wouldn't it?
No, it'd be on
No,
the 5th.
on 5th.
On the
Monday the
5th,
5th.
Monday.
just during the day instead of at night, that Monday. What do you think? Asking
Fine
for an
with that.
opinion from our clerk. She says she has none. You're at work anyway, right?
Will the new sound equipment and everything?
I think it will.
We've had issues up there in the past with the,
Yes, we are addressing.
even though there was excellent effort put forward to alleviate that, we still had some trouble with
Yeah,
folks
you had,
hearing and all.
you had a semi-professional sound guy fail miserably last year.
Is
Hard
he in
as
the
he
room?
tried. You know, sometimes we're good at what we do, and sometimes we just throw our hands up and go, well, I tried. But, yeah, I think the new equipment should be in by then. We talked to those guys yesterday, they're supposed to be shipping it out.
Oh.
They said everything's in, I said, well, go ahead and ship it, except a pair of casters. I said, well, we'll take it without the casters for now. And part of my thinking was to use at a meeting up there.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All right, so you guys want to change that meeting to the 5th at noon at the PHCC, daytime meeting. Somebody want to make that motion? It requires another motion.
So moved.
All right, I have a second.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. I like the idea. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, so we're going to do that we just said. That's a good idea, Robbie. I didn't think about that earlier, but we are kind of running out of time for the year. It'd be one more meeting after that, so.
Well, it might take me till sometime in December to figure out how to change my calendar here now that I loaded it, but otherwise I'm good. Marie might have to make me a sticky note.
We will allow you the amount of time necessary to change your calendar.
I don't know how to do this. Okay.
Now, when we say noon, we'll just do pre-council and everything from the go. We're not gonna have a pre-council that day, if that's okay with you guys. Makes it simpler.
Let's do, okay.
Makes it a little bit simpler on that date. And it's a lot of work for the guys at City Hall, but I think we're up to it. All right, is there anyone from the public that would like to address us tonight? You know where that mic is, sir?
Don't give me time to get up here.
We'll give you time. State your name and address for the record, if you don't mind.
Dolan Terry, 5455 Miles Spring Road. I went up Sunday afternoon, Reeve and I did, at the co-ed softball teams was playing up there. I want to tell you something. We need to thank our Park and Recreation for coming up with that idea. Those people were having a ball. They were slapping each other on the, even the teams they were playing. Good hits, good catch, and all that stuff. And I haven't seen that at ball games in a long, long time. But those people were having a ball, and I just think we need to thank our Park and Recreation for that. I know it takes away from the guys that's working up there, but they probably wouldn't be doing anything if they didn't have something to do.
They get paid by the hour?
Oh, they do. They do. But
They're
I just
excited
wanted
and happy to do it.
I was at the ones that we had in whatever it was, spring or summer, but a couple of them. But I saw lots of enthusiasm going on up there, and they were having a ball. So just thought y'all need to know that.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm sure they appreciate the
Yeah.
compliment. We always said from the get-go, we want that to be a family-friendly environment. Competition is good, and everybody wants to win, but
Everybody wants to win.
don't let it overtake you. Don't become too competitive. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy
And that's
it.
what they were doing. And I was just sitting there thinking, you know, and I've been in sports like you have, Joe, a long time. And but I was just sitting there thinking about, you know, I've seen so much sportsmanship out here today, and I didn't think it existed anymore. But they were having a good time and enjoying and having fun.
Well, fantastic. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Anybody else that would like to speak during public comment? All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
I'm giving John that one.
Stereophonic there.
You're a little late over there.
Everybody.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. We are here.